Hey everyone, I'm David and welcome to Sound Theory Academy. In today's video, we're going to jump into key signatures and I'm going to help you with some strategies for learning and remembering all of the major and minor key signatures. They're important for a host of reasons. And so we're going to talk a little bit about why memorizing all of your key signatures is important. And then we're going to dive into how you can learn them and remember them and recall them quickly. First, let's talk a little bit about why learning key signatures is so important. Knowing your key signatures makes reading and understanding notated music easier. When you understand key signatures, it helps you quickly identify the key signature that's written on the page and helps you orient yourself on the staff. Reading music is largely a technique of eye coordination, and so when you know where the tonic is at any given moment, that makes things easier, and key signatures can help with that. Understanding your key signatures helps you identify the tonic and the dominant and related chords, and especially chromatic pitches. If you understand key signatures, then you're going to understand how all of the notes in the scale are operating, making your job as a music reader and performer so much easier. Another reason understanding key signatures is so important is that it helps in spelling and identifying scales, intervals, and chords. For example, if you're trying to find a major seventh above D, well, that could be really tough. But if you remember that in any major scale, all of the notes above the tonic are either major or perfect, then you'll know that a major seventh has to be from D up to the C that's in the scale of D major. So if you know that D major has two sharps and one of them is C sharp, then you know a major seventh above D is C sharp. It also works for chords. Think about how you might spell a B flat minor triad. A B flat minor triad, well, one way to think about this is that a minor triad is always spelled from the tonic of any minor key. So if you're in B flat minor and you happen to know the key signature of B flat minor, 5 flats, well then you know that you're dealing with B flat, D flat, and F, and that's B flat minor. It's that easy. Finally, understanding key signatures and remembering how to spell them is really important for composers. It speeds up the writing process. You won't have to hang up on which notes you're going to be using. If you want to modulate, for example, from the key of G to the lowered sixth, well, you'll know that the lowered sixth is E flat major. Knowing those things really quickly can speed up the writing process, freeing you up to spend some time on the creative stuff. Okay, so those are some good reasons for learning key signatures. But now I want to focus on how you can remember them. Okay, so let's take a look at a few things here. The circle of fifths. You may recognize this chart. I think it's a beautiful graphic that shows the relationships of all of the major and minor keys. The arrangement of this is actually pretty cool and pretty simple. Moving clockwise, we add sharps. Notice that you have C with 0 sharps and flats right at the top. And as we move to the right, we get G, D, A, and so on. And each time we move a notch to the right, we're adding one additional sharp. It works the other way too. When we're moving counterclockwise, we're adding flats. So we move first to F major with 1 flat, B flat major with 2 flats, E flat major with 3 flats, and so on. So now let's talk about memorizing key signatures. The first thing that I think is really important when we're trying to memorize key signatures is actually the number of sharps and the number of flats. And if you know the order of the sharps and order of the flats, then knowing the number tells you which sharps and which flats you have in any given key. Let me show you what I mean. If we look at the circle of fifths, we see that the order of sharps clockwise of C goes F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, D sharp, A sharp, E sharp, and B sharp. And we get to B sharp and we have 7 notes, all of them are sharp. So if we were to remember this order, then we would always know which sharps we have as long as we knew how many sharps we have. Memorizing sharps is super easy so long as we use a mnemonic device. A mnemonic device is a memory aid that helps you recall information by associating it with something easy to remember. Fat cats go down alleys eating bagels. If you can remember that, then you remember the order of sharps. Fat, F sharp, cats, C sharp, go, G sharp. You get the idea. For flats, we use a different order here. It is B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, G flat, C flat, and F flat. The mnemonic that I like to use for this is bead, B-E-A-D, good colors fast. So, how do we use these mnemonic devices to help us figure out what the key signatures are? Let's start with identifying key signatures when we see the key signature on the page. So we're going to see a key signature, we're going to count the number of sharps or flats, and then we're going to use these mnemonic devices to help us make a connection between the number of sharps or flats and the key signature. With sharps, all we have to remember is the last sharp on the key signature is the leading tone to the major key that we're in. So what I mean is, let's say we have 4 sharps. Let's use our mnemonic device for sharps. Fat cats go down. 4 sharps. And the last one, down, corresponds to D sharp. And D sharp is the leading tone to E. So 4 sharps means E major. Simple. If we're using flats, we have a slightly different system. Instead of the last accidental, it's the second to last accidental that tells us what the key is. This time, it's even easier though, because the second to last accidental is the key that we're in. Let's try it. Let's say we see 4 flats in the key signature. We'll use the mnemonic, bead, B-E-A-D. There's 4 flats, and the second to last is A flat major. So 4 flats equals A flat major. Let's now talk a little bit about minor keys. For minor keys, what we do is find the major key that we associate with the key signature, and then we find the 6th scale degree of that scale. Here's what I mean. Let's say we see 2 sharps in the key signature, and we use our mnemonic device to know exactly what they are. F, C, fat cats. Okay, well, the last one is the leading tone to the major key. So C sharp is the leading tone to D. The major key is D major. And now we just find the 6th scale degree of that scale. D, E, F sharp, G, A, B. And B minor is that scale. We can always count up to the 6th scale degree. We can also go down a third. That's okay too, and it works if you can do that really fast. So if you know what a third below D is, B, then you know that 2 sharps is B minor. Okay, that's it for today's video on memorizing key signatures. I hope this was useful to you. If so, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel so you never miss a video. Thanks for checking out Sound Theory Academy, and I hope to see you next time.